Hello students, welcome back to our maths class. We completed chapter 1 integers, right? Did you all study well? Okay. Then we move to our next chapter 3, data handling. Children, let us understand first what is data. The collection of particular information in the form of numerical figures is called data. This information is collected for some specific purpose. Children, here let me elaborate it and explain you with the help of one example. Suppose I want to know your performance in the maths test. For that, what I am going to do? I am going to collect the marks from you students, right? So, the marks that I have collected, that are in the form of numbers, and what is my specific purpose for behind it? That I want to know your performance. So, those marks that I collected from you is called data, which will help me to get the performance of the students in the maths test. Okay. So, that is data. Now, the data obtained in original form is called raw data. The children, the marks that I have collected from you recently, that is raw data. Raw data means I have not put it into tables or I have not arranged it properly from the lowest to highest, nothing. It is simply the first initial step of my collecting the marks are called raw data, or you can call it as ungrouped data also. Each numerical figure in the set of data is called an observation. Children, now you need to understand this thing very well. These are the marks that I have collected. For example, marks obtained in the maths test 8, 7, 4, 0, 9, 10. These are the marks. Children, here you can see I have not arranged it also. So, you can call it as a raw data also, and each number here in the data is called observation. What it is called? Each number in the data is called observation. Now, what is data handling? We need to collect, organize and represent that data to draw inferences from it. This is called data handling. Now, children, after collecting the data, I am going to put it in a proper way. I am going to arrange it, I am going to organize it so that I can get to some conclusion out of it, that who got more, who got less. Okay. So, working after collecting the data, whatever the process I do, that is called handling the data, right. So, this is called data handling. Is it clear now? Now, let us see what is next. Okay. Now, first step in our data handling is collecting the data. The collection of data depends upon the further requirement of the data. Before collecting any data, we must know that what will be the use of the data. Children, the first thing, whatever data we collect, that has some specific purpose. Suppose I want to see the performance of the student in the maths test. I cannot go and collect the data about the attendance of yours, right. There is no connectivity. So, first thing, what I want to organize, what I want to know, that should be clear into your mind. According to that only you have to collect the data, right. Now, the next we have here organization of data. Before using any data, first we need to organize it in a systematic manner so that it could be understood easily. Generally, data is organized in a tabular form as it is easy to read and understand. Now, children, after collecting the data, we have to organize it, means you have to arrange it properly, either in the form of pictographs, in the form of tables, either in the form of flow charts, whichever is convenient to you. So, arrangement has to be done, that is called organization of data. Children, the number of times a particular observation occurs is called its frequency. This word particular observation, that is number of times. Suppose in a class there are students who get the same marks, that is 2 marks. Suppose 2 marks are received by 3 students. So, how many students got same mark? 3. So, that number 3 is called the frequency. Frequency means how many times that marks is repeated, right. So, the tables showing the frequencies of various observation of data is called a frequency distribution table. Now, as I told you, we need to arrange it, we need to organize it, and if we organize it in the form of table, putting the frequency with it, that is called frequency distribution table. Each observation from the data is counted with the help of the strokes called tally marks. So, which are the tally marks, children? Here we use tally marks in bunches of 5, that is the 5th one crossing the 4th diagonally. Children, you can see here I have done here. So, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5th one we have to cross it diagonally. Diagonally means this is 5th. Now, again if you want to go for 6, again start from number 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, and again 10 one you have to cross it diagonally. Okay. So, this has to be taken care that how we put it. So, let us move to the next one, children. Now, this is the frequency distribution table, children, where I have collected the marks that I have organized it from 1 to 10, and the next here, children, here that is frequency, that 1 mark is obtained by how many students, that is 1 student. 1 student getting 1 mark, 4 students are getting 2 marks, similarly 2 students are getting 3 marks. So, this part of this table we call it as frequency, that this particular marks are occurring how many times, that means how many students are getting same mark, right. And same frequency, children, you can represent in the form of tally marks also. You can see 1 is represented as 1 mark, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right. So, this can be written in the numbers also, and you can write it in the form of tally marks also. Now, children, we have representative values. What is that? There must be a particular value which represents the complete data. This is the average of the data, right. The average lies between the smallest and the largest number of the data. So, it is called central tendency of the group of data. Actually, the representative values are the part of the data only, but they are the average values, right. So, there are 3 types of central tendency of data: arithmetic mean, median, and mode. What are they? We will learn step by step. The first, arithmetic mean. The mean is the average of the number of observation. Number of observations are that is all the collected data. If we take out the average of that data, that is arithmetic mean, children. To calculate mean, we have to divide the sum of the values of the observation by the total number of observation. Children, also it is represented by x bar. X bar can be written like this also, right. This is x and putting a line on it, that is bar. And we have a formula to find the arithmetic mean. AM represents arithmetic mean, which is written as x bar also. So, these are all the observation of the data that we have to add all the observation of the data and divide it by the number of observation, right. That has to be taken care, children. Number of, that is sum of observation divided by number of observation. So, number of observation you need to count it, otherwise you will get your answers incorrect. So, moving to the next, children. I will take one example to explain you the arithmetic mean. The score of 8 students in science is given. Find the average score of the student. So, these are the marks received by the 8 students here, which I have listed here. Now, if I want to find the arithmetic mean, children, I will add. First, let us see to the formula. Arithmetic mean equal to sum of observation divided by number of observations. Now, all the observation of the data, we have to add them. 25 plus 28 plus 23 plus 24 plus 29 plus 35 plus 42 plus 48. Now divide by number of observation. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Divide this sum by 8. When I add this all, I will get my total as 254, which I divide by 8. I will get 31.75, which is the arithmetic mean of the given data. Is it clear, children? Now let us see what is next. Now one important point regarding that. It is not necessary that the value of the mean will be from the one of the observation. It is not necessary that it is the whatever answer you get, that is a part of that observation given to you in the question. Arithmetic mean lies between the smallest and the largest observation. Okay. So, it is not compulsory that you, because in the last only we saw, children, the arithmetic mean I got 31.75, which was not the part of the data, but still we got. That means it lies between the smallest and the largest observation. Now here we have range. Now children, what is range? A range is the difference between the largest and the smallest observation in the data. The range tells us how spread apart a group of number is, and the formula we have here, range equal to largest observation minus smallest observation. Okay, I will explain you with the example here. If the age of the students in a class is given, then what will be the range of the given student? Children, these are the ages of the student given to us. Arrange it in the ascending order. Very important, children, whenever you get any data, please try to arrange it in ascending or descending order. That will make your work little easy. Okay. So, I have arranged the numbers here. So, the range is what? The highest observation. Which is the highest observation among this? Yes, 16, right. So, 16 is the highest, and which is the lowest? 13, right. Now, highest observation minus lowest observation, that is 16 minus 13 will give me 3. Now, children, what is range? I will explain you actually. The range is the spread of the number. How much the spread, difference between the smallest and the largest? How many are? 3. So, that is called the range. That is the spread of the numbers in the data. Okay. So, that has to be taken care here. So, with this we complete arithmetic mean. We will learn the remaining two representative values in the next video. Thank you. Have a nice day.